They're whistling.
Greetings to all family, friends, and distinguished guests, museum patrons, present for the marital unification of Molly and Dano. A couple of weeks ago I met with Molly and Dano to talk about what might happen here today, and I asked the question that I ask all couples I'm about to marry, and that's, would you like me to sing a song? And they ultimately decided it would be a shame to have an award-winning singer perform their wedding and not sing. I'm not going to sing right now, but spoiler alert, a little bit later on in the evening I will sing. I usually start with the song though, so what I need everyone to do with me right now is imagine that, well, first of all, you can sit down. Sorry. But now that you're seated, you're comfortable, I'd like you to imagine that I've just played a masterpiece song all about how this is the greatest wedding of all time. Can you envision that in your brain? Okay, that's what I need you to do. Okay, so you know, the greatest wedding of all time. It's something that I say, and I mean it in the way that if a marriage has true love and friendship and unity behind it, I believe that any marriage can be the greatest marriage of all time, as represented by the greatest wedding of all time. So that's what we've got here today. Can we agree on that, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Thanks. So I don't want to give a lot of speeches whose content you already know, maybe even better than me, about where and how Molly and Dano met, or what love is, or how the dictionary defines marriage, or anything like that. What I want to say is marriage is a full-time commitment. Dano, did you know that?
I sure did.
Okay. That can make it sound like a chore, but the effort that you expend on making it great is returned many times over in the rewards. And a lot of the time, the effort is the reward itself, too. I'm talking about things like daily reminders of your love for one another. I'm talking about never going to sleep angry. I'm talking about possessing and maintaining common values and objectives between you. Standing united against any adversity that comes your way. Frequent words and acts of appreciation for one another. Forgetting and forgiving. Fostering an atmosphere of one another's personal growth, for one another's personal growth. And seeking the wonderful and the beautiful, both in one another and in the world around. You. These elements of your marriage are both responsibility and reward alike, like I said. You're both very strong people. It's something I have noticed in my getting to know you a little bit. Molly, you've got a winning attitude and a determination that's going to take you far, that's for sure. Dano, you two will go far if you just hitch your wagon to Molly's. No, I'm joking. What I want to say about Dano is his laugh. It's his laugh that gets me every time. Whenever I hear it, it's a sure sign that a good time is to be had. When you hear Dano laugh, and you'll be hearing it many times tonight, I suspect. Now, it's important not to underestimate you two. From each other. Okay. Now. You have to know also how to offer criticism to one another. This can be very important. Offering criticism in a loving way in order to improve your love. That's so crucial. And knowing how to accept these criticisms from one another is also very important. Today, Molly, Dano, you are not just marrying the right partner, you're making a lifelong commitment to be the right partner. So here's a poem that I like to share. It's by the poet Ogden Nash, who was fond of wordplay and puns. And it goes like this. It's very short. To keep your marriage brimming with love in the wedding cup, whenever you're wrong, admit it. And whenever you're right, shut up. Now, when wedding officiants aren't altogether very concerned with providing the greatest wedding of all time, they might talk about the bond of love, but I don't like using that word because to indicate that love binds, conjures some negative sort of imagery. I would enthusiastically encourage both of you, Molly and Dano, not to let your love be a bond. Rather, let it be more like, Dano, you're a musician, let it be more like the strings on a guitar. You pluck individual notes and they stand alone. And when you strum the combination of notes, produces a musical effect that's not superior or inferior to the individually played notes. And each is beautiful in its own right. Each can represent a beautiful marriage to which you are both freely and constantly contributing. Sometimes you'll want to contribute together, but it is just important that you contribute individually as well. And perfecting this balance is how I like to think of true love. That's just Is Dylan here? Is Dylan ready to bring up the rings? Dylan, there he is. There's the little guy.
Thanks, buddy.
Now the wedding ring, it represents the eternal duration of unity, love, and commitment between Molly and Dan. Dano, will you please place Molly's ring on the appropriate designated finger? Molly, will you accept this ring as a symbol of a never-ending unity, love, and commitment to Dan?
I do.
Now, Molly, please place Dano's ring on the appropriately designated finger. Now, Dan, will you accept this ring as a symbol of a never-ending unity, love, and commitment to Molly?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just as a ring comprises a circle with no beginning and no end, so shall the loving union be between Molly and Dan. Everlasting and without end. Now join hands. Oh, you did it already. All right. And with your hands, as Shakespeare says, join your hearts. I want you to look deep into one another's eyes now. A little bit deeper, Dano. You're both looking pretty happy, really happy, I would say. I want you to take a sort of mental photograph of this moment, of your happiness, and I want you to store it away, but don't store it too far away. You want to keep that at the ready, close enough for immediate recall. When times are tough, you'll want to bring this up. But also, it's just as important for when times are good to bring this up. To fortify your healthy marriage, it's important to grow in bad times and good times alike. Now, Dano, does your heart beat only for Molly?
Yes.
And will you swear to join with her and stand with her against all who would oppose you?
I swear.
Then repeat after me. Okay, then repeat after me. I, Dano, take you, Molly, as you are,
I, Dano, take you, Molly, as you are,
to be my companion and my best friend.
be my companion and my best friend.
And I promise to be your faithful and loyal husband forever,
And I promise to be your faithful and loyal husband forever,
no matter what.
no matter what.
Now, Molly, does your heart beat only for Dano?
Yes.
And will you swear to join with him and stand with him against all who would oppose you?
Swear.
Then repeat after me. I, Molly, take you, Dan, as you are,
I, Molly, take you, Dan, as you are,
to be my companion and my best friend.
to be my companion and my best friend.
And I promise to be your faithful and loyal wife forever,
And I promise to be your faithful and loyal wife forever,
no matter what.
no matter what.
Yeah. Now, If there are no further objections from our friends, family, distinguished guests, museum patrons, and random passersby, then, by the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and the forces of the universe, I hereby pronounce Molly and Dano united of one accord under the power of perpetual and everlasting matrimony. Dano, that's your wife now. You don't need my permission to kiss her. With great honor, pleasure, and pride, I present to you for the first time Mrs. and Mr. Molly and Dano Lawless. Stick around for the reception. They'll be taking pictures for a little while, but we'll come back for drinks and dinner and dancing and everything very soon.
Wow. What'd you think, Bruce? It was terrible. Yours.